Hello, and welcome to the Nurse to Nurse podcast with Starshema and Kevin, the podcast for the nursepreneurs. Get ready for some straight talk on everything nursing and more.
All right, y'all, what's happening?
Hey, how you doing? Welcome to the podcast. This is Starshema and Kevin. We're back at it again.
Yes. I got my boy Kevin in the house. Do y'all know who Kevin is? Like, Kevin is the nurse educator for the Central Valley. He is out here making major strides, and he's touching cities outside of our valley. That's how much this gentleman is out here driving impact. I know he come with all humility and all humbleness, but I just want to pump him up and just let him know how amazing what he does here in the valley and the work that his company and his self-employment is doing here for in the valley. I mean, he's out here changing the game for some nurses here. So yes. So follow him. Go over to Central Valley Medical because he is the guy that got all your good education plans, courses, classes. He'll do it better than anybody else here in the valley. Never a dull moment in his classroom, y'all.
Well, you know, when I started this, I handpicked the instructors I teach because I don't want people to be all feeling stressed and shit. So there's me, there's Claude, there's Roberto, there's Miss Pat, and now Daniel. We just got Daniel on board. So we tried, and then Ariana, she's our admin. She keeps us all fucking in check and shit. But I don't want people to be stressed when they come to class. I want them to have fun.
Yeah, that's how it should be. Life anyway is just stressful. Like, you know what I mean? Like, why come to places and gotta be all...
Well, the problem is when there's certain people in our valley that teach, and they don't realize that not everybody's an ER nurse or an ICU nurse. Like, we get L&D nurses here, and if you ask an L&D nurses, they don't like ACLS. They scared shitless of it.
Right.
And that's because, and I'm gonna knock on wood because I don't want to jinx all my L&D nurses, they don't get a lot of codes. They get more rapid responses than codes.
Right.
When I teach, I ask people, where do you work? What do you do? Because I try to teach it from their point of view. Because what would I do as an ER nurse? How would I feel if I went to the fucking L&D floor?
Right.
What would I do?
Probably ask some questions, be lost.
I'd be crying like a little sissy and shit. I'm like, I ain't doing that. You a vagina? What?
You like, I save lives around here. I make sure the heart still beats.
Right. Damn, I love vagina, but not like that and shit.
Right.
Put that shit back in your gown or whatever. I don't know if you noticed, but did you know we went to teach in China for 10 days?
No, I didn't know that. Look at you.
Oh, we're international.
Okay. All right, international, global. Well, let's just lay it out there then. I love it.
Yeah, it was probably about, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. We had a company that approached us, and he was a doctor that works in the valley. He's a pediatrician or a intensivist pediatrician. I don't know what. Yeah, he's a fucking ICU pediatric doctor. How's that? Anyway, he got us to where we went over to China for 10 days to teach pediatric advanced life support to a bunch of anesthesiologists. And even in fucking China, what do anesthesiologists want to do with every fucking patient?
Would you be out?
Intubate. Right. I'm like, these motherfuckers, man, was that what they teach everybody in anesthesia? To intubate people? But it's, I know, but it was fun and shit. We had a good time.
Well, they're looking for the safety of the airway, considering the type of medications in which they're being given.
I get it. It was all right. It's good. I had fun. Yeah.
I mean, as an OR nurse, I worked alongside.
Oh, see, so you know, yeah. Well, shit, when I went over there, Miss Pat, you know, she's Filipina and she got some big old boobies. And I had this Chinese doctor that was in charge. He offered me 2 Chinese ladies for Miss Pat because he said he wanted an Asian woman with big boobs.
Oh.
So what did I do?
You exchanged them or you said, nah?
I'm like, yeah, take her on. Where's my 2? I need my 2 for 1.
That is so wrong. You should not be exchanging Miss Pat.
That's terrible.
She is. Don't do Miss Pat like that. Yeah. She is an amazing woman.
She's still here. I still got her.
That's good. Good thing you didn't leave her over there. You know what I mean? Come back with your 2.
She tried to leave me over there.
She was like, oh, you want to give me up? Okay, you stay here.
But it was fun.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, I didn't even know you were international. I think every podcast I learn a little bit more about you. And so thank you for opening up and sharing that with us. So y'all, that's even more of a reason that this guy has some definitely not only educational experience, but some life experiences that can be helpful.
Oh, yeah.
So today we're going to unpack Kevin today, y'all. Like, I think we come here and we talk to y'all, but I think the podcast, our mission is help nurses unleash their voices And I think for us to help you unleash your voice, you got to get to know us a little bit better. So today we're going to unpack Kevin, right? We want to know who is Kevin, what is Kevin all about, what are some things that motivate him, keep him going in life, and talk about his employment journey, the impact that he's making. So Kevin, tell us about Kevin. What inspired you to become a nurse? What does this journey look like for you?
So I was born and raised in Texas, but I spent a lot of time in Louisiana, Arkansas. I was born and raised hardcore Southern Baptist.
Is that where you
And
got that accent from? Okay.
yes, yes.
All right.
And I got the shit beat out of me in the name of Jesus.
Mm.
I got beat till I shit myself.
Mm.
Then I got beat because I shit myself.
Oh, wait a minute.
And so I look back and I think a lot of nurses, they get into nursing because they come from some kind of fucked up background and they want to help people because it makes them feel better about themselves.
Mm.
I don't know why, but I think, looking back, I just think I wanted to help people because I felt pretty shitty about myself and how I was raised as well. Because, my
Mm.
mom was married to my stepdad for a while and he had 4 or 5 older sons. They used to kick the shit out of us. They would stab us with knives and forks, and they try to one. I remember one. His name was Harold. He tried to make me suck his dick for a piece of bubble gum.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay.
Right. So I mean,
Mm.
I just think that when you come from that traumatic kind of background, you try to want to help people because it makes you feel better about yourself.
Yeah.
I left home when I was 16, and I started working, took care of myself. I graduated high school and then I joined the Army. I graduated in June. I joined the Army and went to boot camp and left Texas, never came fucking back.
Mm.
But I was a combat medic. I did 3 tours in Iraq. And when I was over there, my wife had left me, my first wife. And so I always make a joke, but it's true. Somewhere in America, I own a pair of titties that I never got to use because she stole all my money, ran away with another dude. And so I was so distraught that my first sergeant, she was trying to comfort me. And she says, "Why don't you become a nurse?"
Mm.
So I re-enlisted in the damn desert of Iraq to become a nurse, thinking that they were going to send me to nursing school right away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How long did I take for me to go to nursing school?
I don't know. Tell us.
Well, she said I had to wait till after the war. I'm like, what the fuck? You told me if I signed up, I could go to damn nursing school. She's like, you can't. You just got to wait till after the war's over. I'm like, that's some bullshit. But it's okay. So after the war, we came back to Texas or Louisiana, and then I moved to Texas, and that's how I became a nurse.
Wow.
I was a nurse in the Army. I worked at Walter Reed. I don't know if anybody knows where that is, but that's in D.C. I worked there for 3.5 years. Then I moved to Tripler in Hawaii. That was my last station.
Mm.
And then I moved to L.A., and that's where I met Miss Pat.
Nice.
She was engaged for 5 years to some loser.
Mm.
And
you took her. You took her from the loser.
I stole her and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then we moved to Fresno, and that's where I started working as a trauma ICU nurse.
Oh, nice.
So,
Wow.
yeah.
That was kind of a powerful journey. One, just thank you for your service. We don't want to ever leave that out. I mean, no, but we appreciate what you do. Like it takes a person, one strong person to be able to do the work and what you did. And then I know you went back.
Or crazy.
Or just a person who wants to serve, right? One thing that when you were talking that kind of came to mind was like, I always feel like it's a privilege to be able to serve people at some of their most vulnerable times. And I think what hit home when you were saying, like, when we have been through trauma or disservice, that we don't ever want people to feel the way that we feel. So we find our ways to help other people. And I know this was on a previous podcast, but looking at the Good Nurse, right? He had went through a lot. And he felt like he was helping people in a different way. Not saying that that's Kevin, because Kevin don't help people like that. But just thinking about how he went in his profession, but he was feeling like he was helping people, although he may have had some mental illness, which was helping them in the wrong way, which is not natural to the way that we do so.
I think I asked you this, though. I don't remember if it was in the previous podcast or just off the record, but what is the difference between a sociopath and a genius?
It's not. Oh, yeah, you asked me that. It's pretty much nothing. It's a very, very thin line.
Right, very thin line. So, I mean, I could have been that person. I could have been the sociopath pushed the other way because of all the crap I went through. Why I didn't, I don't know. I don't know why I'm the way I'm in, but, I'm lucky. That wasn't your calling. Lucky I ain't killing people and shit.
Yeah, that wasn't your assignment, right? It seemed like you really have a deep compassion at the core of who you are to really just help people. I look at it in your business and how you help people in the work that you do, you're so committed to educating and making sure nurses know what they need to know when they're out providing care. You know, if you weren't compassionate about it, if you didn't love what you do, I don't think it would come off the way that it does, right?
I agree with
I
that.
mean, you love this thing, right? This is
I
like your
love it.
baby,
It
right?
is. I eat, sleep, and drink. I'm here 7 days a week at this motherfucker place. So
Right. And some
people,
days you're up there at 6 o'clock in the morning too, huh?
well, I mean, I get people that call me and text me 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and if I'm awake, I'll answer and shit.
Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely. So what do you think? I know you talked about your life journey. Thank you for sharing that with us, because I know that those things aren't always to come back and to bring up, but I feel like
right.
you've worked past them because you can talk about them. What do you feel like is the thing that make you most relatable to other people,
That
to
I've
other nurses and
that I've been
professionals?
through the same shit everybody else. I know a lot of people look at me because I know nobody's gonna like this, but I'm a rich white guy. I ain't fucking
Mhm.
rich. I am white, but I didn't. People can tell me I grew up privileged, and maybe I did. I don't know, but I got the shit kicked out of me. I did not come from a middle class family. We were poor as fuck.
Mhm.
And did I live a different life? I don't. Maybe I did. I don't fucking know. But I just know that I got the shit kicked out of me. No, but I just know that I was tormented and I came from a really fucked up background. And I, like you, I could have chose to be a victim or I could move forward and fucking survive. So I
Mhm.
just take what I learned growing up. I relate it to what I see other people going through. Like I took care of a lady in St. Agnes once that she was a lady of the night. And
Mhm.
she thought I was gonna look down upon her because she told me what she did. I'm like, listen, I don't care what you do. That's your business. I don't
Mhm.
care if you're a lady of the night or you're the vice president of the United States. I'm gonna treat you the same.
Absolutely.
I like you because, and I'm not a religious person. Like I went the total opposite way, but I do remember all the crap I was taught.
Mhm.
But fucking, what would Jesus do to a whore on the street?
You'll love her.
Yeah, and that's what I do. I just try to love people for who they are. I don't judge people. I don't make judgments. I'm like, that could have been me. That could be my kids. So who the fuck am I to judge? I just share my life so people understand that I'm a person just like them. It just trying to makes me relatable and stuff.
That's the big thing, is that we're all human and people need human connection. They need human relatability. And despite what I think the big thing is that, yes, you hear people talk about privilege, right? But I think sometimes we overuse the term. And yes, people can be afforded different opportunities based upon their skin color,
Yeah.
but also you never know what people had to endure. And we can't, we get so caught up of weighing this and this against each other like it
Right.
holds the same weight, but many times it's not, so I just, given that context, is that that's what people may say, but I think we need to be mindful of really what that
But
sometimes look like.
but people are scared to talk about color and race and sex and religion. I don't give a shit. You come to my class, I'm gonna mention them all. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm not saying I'm wrong, but I'm just looking at from what I learned, what I listened to, talking about
Mhm.
perspective. Because this is one thing people don't like it, but I think it's a good thing we started doing it. Is the board of nursing is forcing companies like mine to talk about when you teach a class, talk about it from what do they call it? Implicit biases.
Mhm.
Do you know what an implicit bias is?
Yeah.
What is an implicit bias? Give us an example of one. I'm gonna put you on the fucking spot.
No, no, Kevin, don't put me on the spot. You tell us. You the teacher.
All right, so look at you. What is your ethnicity?
I'm black.
Yeah, but you an angry black woman.
I am an angry black woman.
so
Angry.
black so black women when they come to the hospital, mainly to the ED, they're
Mhm.
40% less likely to get pain medicine than any other ethnic group or sex group. Why is
Why
that?
is it? Because we're
Yeah,
the
why?
angry black women. They're gonna be angry. They're gonna yell at me
Yeah,
when
and
I
if you're
come in.
yelling, you're angry, that must mean you're not in pain.
Right.
And so, I learned that. Like, I asked people that, I look at cultures, I look at those implicit bias, and why do we feel and why do we think that way? Why are you an angry black woman? If I was fucking beat and talked to and looked down upon for fucking 400 years, I'd be angry too and shit.
Hmm.
I'd probably
Hmm.
come out stabbing motherfuckers.
Right. But I think also too is that people don't stop, pause, and understand, because not all
Right?
the time are we
You're not,
angry.
you're not angry. It's just,
Sometimes you're passionate about how you
yeah.
say things. Like people think I'm loud. Like I remember meeting my husband
Can
and
you
he's like,
quiet
"Why are you
down?
so
You're so
loud?"
loud.
Yeah.
Quiet down. You so loud.
Right. He told me, "You so loud. Like, why?" And I'm like, "I'm just passionate. I just
Yeah.
love the topic that I'm talking about. I just don't talk like this. And that
Sir,
is
mind your
okay that I don't
business.
talk to." Yeah. You know what I mean? But we do get that, right? And you look at how people look at you, not only from a Black woman, a Black male, and even across other races as well, right?
Are you in the healthcare field, or would you like to learn how to save a life? Let Central Valley Medical teach you today. We offer CPR and first aid, IV therapy, ACLS, PALS, NRP, and more. Visit us at www.morethancpr.com or call us today at 559-765-0306. We do more than just CPR. Learn to respond to a code, not react.
And even across other races as well, right? We have these different biases that come in place. And it's just really just sad. Like, can we just all get along?
Yeah, but see, you got to think about this though. So people think you're loud. I'm not an angry Black woman, but I'm loud too. I get told all the time that I'm fucking loud. And so, I mean,
You're passionate.
yeah, I mean, I talk loud, one, because I was in the army and they teach you to project your voice.
Mm-hmm.
Two, I had my ear cut off. Like you told me about your mama. Her and I are
Mm-hmm.
close the same. I had this ear cut off in the army. My
Mm-hmm.
eardrum was repaired and sewn back on. So I'm deaf and this ear is hard to hear. So I talk even louder.
Mm-hmm.
And because I'm confident in myself, I project confidence, but some people see it as cockiness or
Right.
arrogance and shit. I'm like, call me whatever the fuck you want to call me. I don't give a shit. I know who I am.
Well, we live in a world where everybody's so sensitive, right?
Yes, they
You got
are.
to watch everything that you say. Everybody's so sensitive. They're taking things personal. But it's because also people aren't confident in who they are
Right,
anymore.
right. So I'm confident who I'm at. Do I know everything? Not even a chance. We talked about this on the last episode. I don't know shit about L&D nursing except this head comes out the vagina and you don't want the damn neck cord around the
Core.
neck and shit. You just want it to come out nice and pink.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I know. I'm not a dialysis nurse. I know that you take a needle and stab the fistula or the graft or whatever,
To access it.
suck out the dirty blood, clean it, put the shit back in. I mean, I don't know all the damn details. So
You know what's so amazing is I love this because as an educator, I think about like I'm an ER nurse. I can save your life, and I don't know everything about that either, right? But I'm like, y'all just got to know the basic concepts of what this stuff
right,
represents. Like, stop trying to get so damn detailed and get me on
right,
the technicality. Just know the concepts, sis.
right.
No.
Like, I know, but it's hard because they expect you to know every answer, and that's not even reasonable. I mean,
No. I appreciated that
yeah,
because you are a very intelligent man. And sometimes I'll be like, these are the only things I want you to remember about this concept because
right.
it is so important. And you may not ever see it in your years of experience.
Now, one thing
So,
you don't know about me, I do love vocabulary words, and I try to find real big fancy words that most people don't know, only so I can use it when I talk to people I don't like. I can
uh-huh.
talk shit about them, but using fancy words that they don't understand.
Oh, tell us what's your favorite word that you like to use when you're talking shit about people who don't understand what you're
Um,
saying.
I'll have to think. I'll come back to that, but I do
Okay.
use like the word onus a lot, dubious, scruples. You don't have very good scruples, because most people have no idea what the fuck I'm saying and shit. So I
But
love
not no duty deets.
it. Yeah. Well, I do it because that way I can talk shit about you and you have no idea what the hell I'm saying and shit. And you smile at me and shit. And in your mind, you're probably like, what the fuck does scruples means and shit? Like, well,
Oh
I
my
love,
god.
yeah, but why not? It's my own secret pleasure.
Okay.
Because I can hate a motherfucker. Like, I want to stab a motherfucker in the neck and you would never even know it.
Mm.
I could smile at your face and have a conversation with you and you would never know that I just despise the shit out of you.
Oh, Kevin,
I'm,
that's
I'm,
you're dangerous.
yeah, love that shit. So.
See, I thought that you were one of those real people that you would just
I
tell
am
us how
real,
you
but
feel.
I will. But sometimes you got to work with people that you don't like,
I
and
agree.
so when you're there working with them, I'm not gonna because I don't want to be angry. I don't want to show my anger or my disdain for you because it's just gonna change our dynamics and it's gonna drain me, and I don't want your energy to fuck up my energy.
Gotcha.
Miss Pat says I'm a pessimist, and I'm only a pessimist when it comes to people. But
Oh, but not
I'm
in other things?
No, because I think I have a very good energy. I'm very outgoing. I'm very positive when it comes to, teaching and things like that. But when it comes to people in general, I just don't trust most people.
That's when that but come in, like, but
Yeah,
I like you, but
right.
I don't, I'll work with you, but.
No, I don't know if this is a woman thing or a man thing, but until you prove to me that I can trust you, I'm not going to trust you. But women, you trust everybody, and then once they hurt you, I can't believe you hurt me. Then you
See,
shouldn't
for me,
trust
I'm not a. I have a very discerning spirit, and
That's good.
I don't always trust everyone.
That means, let me translate that shit. You're good at reading bullshit.
Pretty much, yeah.
Right. That's what discerning means. I'm the same way. I can have a conversation with somebody and I can tell you if they're bullshitting you or not, if they're lying.
Yeah.
So that's why
I read the room pretty well.
Yeah, me too. I think, and I'm sorry if some of you are out there going to be disappointed in what I'm about to say, but I really don't give a fuck. If you're a manager interviewing people and you are those managers that ask those silly questions that have been asked for the last 20 years, what's your goal in 5 years? How do you see yourself? That means you're a shitty manager. If you're an OR manager, like you used to work in OR, as an OR manager, I would give them 3 or 4 scenarios about different cases in the OR.
Yes.
And ask the nurse how they would handle that. That would tell me a lot more about that nurse and how they're going to handle the situation. Am I going to be able to work with them? But asking people their goals, that's bullshit. Because you don't, as a manager, you don't really give a fuck about my goals. You just want to know if I'm going to show up to work and am I going to be here in 5 years and bail your ass out.
Well, I was going to say, what does goals have to do with your ability to be able to perform a job?
It don't. And most people don't know what the fuck they're going to do in 5 years. Because most people aren't taught to think about 5-year goals, 10-year goals.
Because some of their goals is just sitting right there having an interview with you, landing their first job.
They just want to get a fucking job and shit.
Yeah.
But like when people come to me and ask me about cover letters, you know what I say about cover letters? You know what a cover letter is?
Yeah, I know what a cover letter.
Look at me. This is what I think about cover letters.
Don't disrespect their cover letters like that.
It's worthless. Why do I need to write a letter to tell you about me when I can just ask you, Starshema, tell me about your fucking self? I don't need a damn cover letter to tell me that shit.
But it's the formal and the proper thing to do in today's world.
I can guarantee most managers take that shit and throw it away. I know about you because I'm going to interview you, ask you.
Right. But just following the protocols of the organization.
I have never, ever gave a cover letter. Ever.
Never?
Never.
Turned in your resume?
I just turned in my resume. You either want me or don't. If you want to know about Kevin, what are you going to do?
Is it up to date? Is it truthful?
It sure is. Go on LinkedIn. Go to LinkedIn. I keep my shit up to date. I just talked to a lady last night that I'm mentoring. The one I told you about, she didn't get the money because they didn't want to pay it. I went onto her LinkedIn and I said, listen, you got to beef that shit up. Like, you need to go look at mine and look at yours. Put all your certifications on there. Talk about you. And if you have a LinkedIn account, you can create your own resume off of it. And it looks beautiful.
Let's unpack this really quick. Let's unpack Kevin really quick. Y'all heard him say he has some mentees. Okay. So he is a coach. He's mentoring, he's coaching. And it sounds like he can help you get your LinkedIn, which is your professional profile, really, really up to date. Like to where you can look beefy. One thing I love about men that is a quality that most women don't have is us talking ourselves up.
Yeah, because you know how many job offers I get on a daily basis just from LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And I have to turn them down. Like, I want you to be this manager. I'm like, yeah, I don't thank you, but I don't need that shit.
Right.
Well, I'll give you this much. Yeah, I don't need that shit.
So let me ask you, do you go and audit people's LinkedIn profiles and recommend things for them?
I don't recommend it because, you told me not to give away my services for free.
Absolutely. So that's what I'm saying. So can they hire you to help them beef up their profiles?
Yeah, of course. You just tell me what you want. I help you.
Okay. So Kevin says if you're ready to grow, beef up your LinkedIn profile, that he has a service to be able to help you with that. And apparently he says you see all the job offers he's getting, opportunities, and the more beefy that profile looks, the more money and earning power you can make.
I looked at her profile and, it's nice and everything. She had her education, but what did she not take the time to fill out?
Like maybe her skills, her qualities.
Well, she didn't have skills. She didn't have certification. But the most important thing, the first thing that people see on your profile is your bio.
Yeah, your bio. Yeah, what you're interested in.
Which is your fucking cover letter.
Yeah, that nice elevator speech.
Yeah, fill that shit out. I am so-and-so. I've worked here. I've done this. I've been here. This is what I want. This is what I like. That's what people see first. And if you don't fill it out, guess what they're going to do? Swipe left.
Right. Because one thing I teach my women is like when they're updating their profiles, their handles, is that people should be able to go and read it. And quickly, it should be engaging. It should be capturing about who you are, what you do. And they should know right then and there if they're the person for you. Is that the same kind of approach that you use when
It
you're
is.
auditing LinkedIn?
It is, but I also look at emails. Like, why do you have an email named Silly Mike 245?
Come on.
If you want to be treated as professional, you can have a crazy, like my personal Instagram is called Raging Cajun. Because, my mom always told me I was Cajun, but my DNA says something else. But I am fucking raging because I'm always angry and shit. But it's just fun. But I don't use that as my personal. I would never send that to somebody that I wanted a job or grow business. That's why I just do Kevin Stansbury RN at gmail.com. I keep it professional. When I create my LinkedIn, that's what I use. I don't use some kooky ass email like bubblegum25. Like people, I know it sounds crazy, but managers look at that stuff.
Absolutely.
And managers are old. They're old like me or older. So they're very anal and shit. So they still follow those old ways of thinking. So you got to understand your audience.
Right. I agree with that. And then it also lets them know how serious you are, what type of professional you are. Are you set up to be, and are you management quality if you guys are going into leadership? Like you shouldn't have raging Cajun at gmail.com, right?
Right.
Because they're like, all right, he raging. It's telling you what we don't realize is that when we make these kind of emails, we're giving people
an insight to us,
an insight to who we are. And it may not be the insight that we necessarily want them to know.
That's right.
Not that you are bad in any kind of way, but what if I didn't know Kevin and I read Raging Cajun? What kind of things would come to my mind that would say, oh, I ain't going to pick him. I'm not going to hire him. Let me go to the next applicant to see. So I agree. So that's awesome. I'm happy that you have that service and that have mentees that you are working with to help them get what they deserve out in the market right now. That is powerful. So if y'all want y'all LinkedIn's edited, where do they reach out to you at, Kevin?
They can go to at Central Valley Medical on Instagram, or they can message me on Facebook. They can email me at kstansbury@morethancpr.com. Any of those places you can go see me and stuff.
Nice. I love it. I love it.
Just so you know, all the people trying to get a hold of me, that got my cell phone and stuff. Starshema learned a harsh lesson. When you call me, my phones automatically get sent to voicemail because I teach all the time. I don't have time for fucking phone calls. Mm-hmm. If you text me and I'm in class, the text get forwarded to Ariana or Miss Pat, because it's not that I don't want to talk to people, but I work so much that I don't always have time to text and phone calls. Anytime you email me, I'll get back to you.
Right.
So just don't take it personal if I don't answer your fucking phone call.
Yeah, he don't answer mine either, y'all. I can only get Messenger.
I don't even answer Miss Pat's and shit. So, I'll answer her text. Yeah, I'll answer her text, but I answer my emails. That's how I prefer it. Even when people call me business wise, I'm like, I don't have time to fucking call, email me and shit.
Yeah. So. All right, so let's think about this. So you just brought up Miss Pat, and we've had conversation. What is it like to be self-employed and to work alongside a woman and your wife?
Well, I love it. Miss Pat probably don't love it because she got to put up with my motherfucking ass. But me and Miss Pat met way back in LA, and we were originally met in the CPR class. Mm-hmm. And, we taught CPR for fun and stuff. But when I started working at Selma back in 2008 or something, I don't even remember when I worked there. But whenever I was working at Selma, I wanted to start this business and teach because I wanted to start moving away from the bedside because I wanted to think about my retirement because I'm not going to be able to do this shit forever. Mm-hmm. She wasn't big on it, she was like, what if, what about our health insurance? What if this, what if that? I'm like, so what? Like, who gives a fuck? Like, we've been poor before. Who gives a shit? It was really hard for her, but a lot of people come here and they see our office building. They hear the phone calls and stuff. Everything you see at Central Valley Medical, Kevin Stansbury fucking created. Mm-hmm. People think we're this big corporation and stuff, but it's just us. There's only like 5 or 6, 7 people in this fucking office. We're a family.
That's kind of magical that 7 people can run a business. That is cool.
7 people don't run a fucking business.
Oh, okay. What happened?
2, maybe 3 people run the business.
Okay.
The rest of them are instructors and shit. I mean, they do help. Don't get me wrong, but without them, I couldn't exist. But everything you see, all the processes, all the emails, all the phone calls, this motherfucker built that shit from the ground up with her help. Because, I curse a lot. So she's like my editor.
Okay.
She's my
She's your
fucking filter.
filter.
She's my
She's your
filter.
filter.
So that's how we started working along. But she, she wasn't grand about it because, she's like every woman, she wants security.
Mm-hmm.
She told me I will not quit my job as a teacher because she was a special ed teacher for 23 years. She said, I'm not going to quit my job until we make this amount of money. And it's not a lot. It looks like a lot on paper, but it's not, because we make less now than we did as a teacher and a nurse. Like her and I, she could go back teaching full time and I could go back nursing full time, and we'd make 2 or 3 times more than what we make here.
But would you be happy?
No. So that's why we do it, because we get to spend more time with our kids. Now, I like spending time with her. Like, I want to be around her all the fucking time. She just don't want to be around me and shit. Like, I don't know. Maybe she hates my ass, but she's just different. She's built different than me. But I love, like, I want to be with her all the time. Like, if I could get rid of my kids and kick them out of the house, I'd spend 24/7 with her.
Oh, that's so sweet.
So, but she just don't like it. But I like it. I like what I do because I get to help the other people that work here. I have a mission. My mission is to help change the way the Valley educates its nurses. I want nurses to understand why they're doing shit, not just do it because they're told and stuff.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
but I like being an entrepreneur. Like, it's freedom. I don't
Right.
have, like, now people think I'm crazy because, you know me, like when I worked at the hospital, I talk like this all the time. I even fucking cursed at work. Now, I'm not stupid. I don't go cursing in front of my patients right away. I go.
We said right away. I like that caveat.
Well,
right there.
because I go in, I try to find out if they're religious. If I hear them talking about Jesus and will you pray for me, I'll pray with them, even though I'm not a very religious person. But I can fucking have a facade too. But I'm not stupid. Now, if I know they're crackheads and they curse at me and they yell at me, then I'll start relaxing and I'll curse back at them. And I know I'm not going to get in trouble because I know they're not going to tell them. However, when you come here, how come I curse?
Probably because it's your building.
Yeah, it's my home. If you don't like it, you can fucking go somewhere else and shit. I don't care. I mean, I do care, but I just think it's silly because, if you look at a person that curses as not being professional, then you have misjudged me and you've missed the boat. And I tell people, I'm like, you got 30 something years experience, high quality experience right at your fucking feet. And if you're willing to dismiss it because of a few words that come out of your mouth, it's your loss and shit. Like, I don't know a whole lot of shit, but I know motherfucking nursing.
Right.
And you're willing to give up 30, 40 years experience just because of a few foul words, I think you've missed the boat.
Right.
If I had somebody that was very religious and they were super smart about a topic that I was interested in, I would shut the fuck up and hear them pray about Jesus and give me a sermon on Sunday just so I could learn what
you're supposed to learn.
Yeah, what I'm supposed to learn. So I just think that we need to, rethink the way we judge people. So
yeah,
but I like it. Yeah.
I agree. I just think some people, I guess, like what you call it, like their palate is just a little bit different of the things that they're able to tolerate. But I just see, not to tell people that this is what they have to accept if they feel like
you don't have to accept me. Nobody has to accept Kevin. Except
you,
Kevin.
You got to live with you.
And I live with myself every fucking day. And every time I look at myself, damn, that's an awesome motherfucker right there.
I think that is most men's like approach. Like, they really are. They can pat themselves on the back. They can look at themselves. They can find the good qualities in them. And sometimes for us as women, we struggle with that.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I mean, be able to do it. Yeah, because you guys, I don't know if I'm generalizing, but I think women see that as arrogance, cockiness. Yeah. And I don't. I just think men see it as confidence.
Right.
If you talk to another man and we were having a conversation about a third man, if we say he's cocky, it's not because he's confident. It has to do with something else that he's doing or not doing that's exuberating his cockiness.
Right.
But if he's articulating his words well, he's teaching us something that he knows, and he's like, damn, that some bitch knows the shit. We don't see it as cockiness. We see it as confidence.
Right.
And that's where I think you have to rebrand yourself as women and not be afraid to lift yourself up.
Yeah.
Where did that
70-year-old
Starshema go? The one that used to jump off the couches and ride a fucking Huffy bike and jump off of cliffs and shit.
Beat people up, Yeah.
Now don't be mad, but where did that bitch go? Bring her back out. Where is she at?
Yeah.
I know, but I don't know her name, but there's a lady who goes around mentoring women that talk about that. Where's that 7-year-old Starshema? How come she's not here anymore? Bring her back out.
Yeah.
How did she get stuffed down in the box somewhere?
I think society. I think we allow society to entertain those titles, and that's what the things that they
I don't know.
do, you know?
Why do women wear makeup and get fixed up and why do women get breast implants?
They want to
You-
feel good about themselves.
Yeah, but you blame it on us saying, well, we're doing it for our men. No, you're not. You're doing it for your fucking self. Men don't
Yeah,
give a shit.
no.
Yeah, men
I
don't.
wouldn't say that I
A
would
lot of
blame
women
it
do,
on
though.
us.
Yeah.
Well, maybe their husbands, I mean, their significant other, their husbands, some people make you feel inadequate with who you
When,
are and they go and jazz you up.
women are very good at turning shit around.
Sometimes the men make them. We won't have a debate.
Oh,
I'm just
yeah.
kidding. I love it. So, Kevin, tell us what kind of services, what kind of mentoring do you offer over at Central Valley Medical that some
So,
people may want to take advantage of?
So, most people know already, we teach ACLS, BLS, PALS, all the certifications that you have to have every 2 years. But one thing people may not know is I also get hired and we offer care plans. So if you got places of business that need care plans, I write care plans, I develop a care plan. I provide training for staff that are not medical professionals. I provide training to lay people. I do legal nurse consulting as well. So if you ever had a lawsuit that your loved one got hurt and you wanted to sue them, I have a lawyer that I recommend to, and if it fits my expertise, he'll hire me to review the records. And if I need to, I can go to court. Because remember, I'm a certified emergency nurse.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also a vascular access board certified specialist.
Okay.
So so I use that to my advantage. I use those
Mm-hmm.
credentials because I keep up on the research.
Yes.
So, they may hire you for things like that. I mentor. And I don't always charge for mentoring, but I guess I better start now because Starshema gets mad at me because I don't.
Yes. I mean,
But the problem is, I think people are too cheap. They don't want to pay. Why do I
you're
got to pay?
projecting. You're being
I-
pessimistic right now.
No, but I really believe it. Let's take a fucking poll.
People pay.
Put it on what? Put it on our Facebook page, our Nurse to
Okay.
Nurse podcast. Put a fucking poll. How much would pay for Kevin's mentorship?
Okay.
And we'll
You
see.
you might be surprised at what you get. So if y'all not in our Facebook community,
Now,
go over to Facebook at Nurse to Nurse Podcast.
I'll tell you what I will give you if you're right. And don't fucking
Okay.
just vote in Starshema's favor so I have to pay her some shit.
Okay, what
Be
you gonna
honest.
pay me? Well, what's gonna be?
I'll tell you off camera because I don't want it to sway people.
Okay, look at you, wise, huh? Wise.
I am because I don't
Okay.
trust people. I think I could say things and then they'll go and vote just so I had to pay you and shit.
So what's the thing here? So do we want to know if people are willing to pay for Kevin's mentorship, or is it the dollar amount that you're concerned about?
I think it's both.
Okay, so what would be most important to you?
That's a good damn question. I don't know. Well,
Okay.
I don't know I don't know if you realize, but I feel guilty about charging people money.
And we got to stop that.
I know, but I'm just
You
being
pay
honest.
for things.
I do, but that's because I want to better myself.
And why wouldn't you think that somebody else wants to pay you to better themselves?
Because they're fucking cheap. People are fucking cheap.
One thing that one of my coaches told me is we got to stay out of our clients' pockets. If we have that mindset, guess what? You're always going to attract cheap people.
I got
But
you.
I believe that there's people out there with money who wants to pay you to work with you. And we're going to put this poll up and we're going to put it up. We're going to put it up on Instagram. We're going to see what the people have to say.
All right, we'll see.
We're going to see what they have to say. We're doing
I'll
a poll.
I'll message you what I'm going to give you if
Okay, message
you're right.
me.
I will.
And I'm going to tell y'all. I won't tell y'all when I put the poll up.
We'll tell you
I
afterwards.
will tell y'all afterwards.
Right.
And we may have on our next live in April, we may go over and talk about it. So that's going to go up here soon. So you'll see it in the group. And you may be listening to this after you've already voted. So we'll see it. All right. Well, Kevin, tell them where, I think you told them the kind of services that you offer. Where can they go and take advantage of your services?
So you can go to morethancpr.com, www.morethancpr.com, or you can go to our Instagram page at Central Valley Medical. Same thing at Central Valley Med is our Twitter handle. Same thing at Central Valley Medical for our TikTok. So anywhere you want to go. Yeah.
So
message
Kevin,
me, follow me.
Sounds like he's getting ready to open up that mentorship here in 2023.
We'll see.
Let's see what happens. Thank y'all for listening to us. Go follow my good guy friend over on Instagram, Twitter. Make sure you take advantage of his services because this is the place where you're going to go get all your nursing education from. Forget the rest, right?
And don't forget to follow Starshema too at Brand Nurse Coach. Don't forget that either.
All right. We appreciate y'all for tuning into another episode. We'll catch y'all on our next one. Take care.
Peace. Thank you, guys.
Peace out. Bye.
All right.